Hey there. This is the walk around video for the 2022 Aprilia Tuareg. And I bought this bike brand new from AF1 Motorsports in Austin, Texas. October 6th, 2022. And I bought it from AF1 even though there's a dealer much closer to me in Las Vegas, because AF1, if you know your Aprilias, has been around forever. They have a team of amazing technicians, and they're right at the forefront of all the Aprilia sort of, happenings. And so if it's a warranty or if it's, any kind of tech that you want, they typically had forums that led the way. So anyway, nice guys, great service, and I wanted an adventure. So I bought the bike from them and then rode it back to Utah. And man, it was fantastic. These things, it's a big dual sport. Well, big, it's 660. So basically like the Yamaha Tenere. But for its size, basically a 700cc-ish bike, oh man, it's really lightweight compared to the bigger bikes like the BMW, GS's. But that little motor, that 660 motor, came in their RS model, the sport bike, and you can't believe how much power that thing has for its size. And of course, Aprilia is famous for their Grand Prix motor wins. It's right here on the tank, okay? World titles. And they get a lot of horsepower out of their motors. So anyway, this thing is smooth as silk, and it has cruise control, which I thought was fantastic, along with a few different ride modes. You can adjust whether you're in the dirt or the street or sport or, the suspension isn't automatically adjustable like it is on, let's say, a GS. On the back, you have preload back here, and then some probably, I don't know if you have probably some rebound damping things. And on the forks, let's see if we can get a look in here. One fork has compression, and the other fork has cap has a rebound. So that's tension. It says TEN means tension. So it's not the highest spec suspension to be found, but it's still really good. And of course, it's got those excellent dirt ABS, so you can basically be driving down a dirt road and slam on the brakes, and this thing just stops straight as an arrow without killing you. So all the neat stuff. If you're looking at the Tuareg, you must know about them. This was the best color to me, and it cost me an extra $500. What have I put on it? Well, I started out with the Puig windshield, right? It's a little taller than stock, a little bigger. So I was riding on the highway, and it did a good job. I'm 6'2", and it kept all the wind off. I also went for a much more heavy-duty set of handguards. These are these highway HDB, highway dirt bike. They're from Colorado, and these things are stout. So thankfully, I didn't have to test them out at all. But then the neat thing about these is they have these little hidden mirrors. And so if you don't like the big fat mirrors, these things pop out. They're legal, and they work well. So anyway, they hide back on in there. So, and then it comes with its own clamp and a taller down here. So this thing raises the bars up a little bit, and it's super stout. So yeah, highway dirt bike handguards. I've got a Garmin XT mount. Of course, I put the Garmin on many different vehicles. That's an XT or an XR, I think XT. Anyway, it's, the modern one. Now I think they've come out with another one that's a little bit bigger screen, but anyway, that's the Garmin GPS mount. These are aftermarket engine guards, so in case you do something naughty and fall over, they save all that cool stuff there. And those are what company? German company. I'm blanking on it at the moment. Anyway, I'll have it in the write-up. Brand new tires. Okay, this bike doesn't have that many miles on it, like 2,500. But since I rode it back on the pavement, the rear tire was getting a little squared off, and I took it on a ride in Colorado. So I just didn't end up with as many miles using it as often as I thought I would. And the reason is because I ride two up with my wife, and she, for some reason, she just didn't, she liked the GSs. So, you know, okay, well, that's fine. Anyway, so it's got these fancy German guards. It's got a German, and I do not know the name of this, but this thing is super stout, and I like the way it looked. It didn't look too crazy under there, and that's a really nice skid plate. And let's see what else. It's got the quick shifter. That's put on by the boys at AF1. That's an Aprilia product. Let's see what else. Battery tender cable. These all came with lithium batteries, and so you got to keep this thing on the charger because, you know, the little electronics will eventually drain that battery, but if you just keep it plugged in, you know, she's good to go. So now these tires are Dunlop Mission, and their date codes are, you know, 2023. So they're new. They're brand new. They only have about 150 miles on them. I took a run up to my wife's family's cabin. I guess the biggest farkle that I put on this was this Italian HP Corse exhaust, and oh man, it sounds good. So it gets rid of the catalytic converter, which sits right here, and of course, if you want that, I have the stock pipe, the stock muffler. This is a Aprilia comfort seat. See, it says right there, comfort, and so it's kind of suede on the top and looks nice. And I've got all the stock parts, so the exhaust, the seat, hand guards, you know, all go with it. It's got a GV rack. Okay, this is GV. That's Italian, right? You know, like the light in Christmas Story. Let's see, GV tracker rack. So I don't have a box for this. I have two boxes. I have a big one and a small one, and I use them on multiple bikes. So all you have to do is have the rack, and then you can get the box on there. So, but anyway, that's a GV tracker plate with the, and I'm pretty sure it fits many of their boxes, and that's a GV rack. These are these pannier racks. Are Tuareg. I like Tuareg because they fit perfect. You never have to worry about the fit and finish. You know, you can put a set of soft bags, two of them, they're very strong, or you can use one of the Tuareg boxes or mount some others, whatever, if you do them. So again, I do the same thing with the boxes. I have a set that I use for multiple bikes. Over there's my PD, and you can see on the back, there's the same racks, right? So I use those. It's the same boxes for both. Okay, so we talked about the tires, we talked about the racks, the rear rack, the seat, the windshield, the GPS mount, the hand guards, the quick shifter, oh boy, the skid plate, and boy, that might be it. If I'm forgetting anything, of course, it will all be in the write-up. So let's turn this thing on, and of course, you gotta kind of have an engineering degree to get through these various levels. But that's part of having the bike, you know, and having fun. So, you know, over here you can switch between. There's your traction control telling you it's on number 4. And how full your fuel is and what your fuel mileage. Look at that. See this thing, man, 58 miles to the gallon. I don't get that on my GS, that's for sure. Max speed 89. Who did that? I don't know. The time of day. Let's see, trip meter. Odometer, that's the miles on the bike. So it's got 2,767 miles. That's kind of embarrassing, have such a nice bike and only have that many miles on it. But, you know, I got other bikes and I do use them. So this one's just not getting used. That's why it's going on Bring a Trailer. Anyway, we can look over here and we can see if we toggle another thing, there's, oh, that's something I didn't mention, heated grips. So you reach them from this main menu, right? And turn them on. There's several levels of heated grips. Those are Aprilia, right? They're all wired right into the system. And again, it's got different, the ride modes. So you can get this thing friskier or mellower, rain, dirt, and then and there's levels that you can adjust for yourself. But anyway, these are tech spec things which will come off if you don't like them, right? You just peel them off. So it's had an oil change, 2 oil changes. Had one at 600 miles. That's what they wanted, and then now I basically did that one on the way home, and then I did it again at 2,500 miles. So it's got an oil change. It's fresh. I've got 3 extra oil filters that go with it, I guess that's about it. Fresh tires, middle of 23 date codes on them. These, and I can't remember what the name, Trail Max Mission, that's what they're called. Yeah, nice tires, a good blend. Do you want to fire it up? Let's fire it up just for fun again, man, because this thing sounds fruity. Yay. All right, thanks for watching.